Well, we are heading into week number 7, and the standings in the British Columbia Football Conference look like they have not looked in at least in my recent memory. And Coach Snoop, head coach of the Langley Rams, joins me now, and a guy who has about the same memory as I do from this league over the last almost 15, 20 years now. Coach, what do you make of it when you look up and down and see 5 teams within 2 points of first place heading into week 7?
Well, it's exciting, that's for sure. And I think what makes it exciting is you got 5 teams that are battling out, and obviously only 4 get in, right? So I think, in the BCFC, it's been a long time that there's been, 5 teams at this stage of the year that are truly battling and all have a right now to, feel that they're contenders to be in the playoffs. So I think it's great. It's great for our league. It's a parity that we've been always striving for, and it's exciting. I mean, every game is exciting, and as soon as you think you know something, the football gods slap you in the face and make you realize you don't know a whole lot.
The only team that's been able to beat the Valley Huskers is your Langley Rams this season, and both times really fairly convincingly as well. Neither one was a super tight ball game, at least on the scoreboard. Why do you think that is? What is it about your group and your matchup that's seems to be a much better than every other team in the league so far?
Well, I'm not quite sure about every other team. I'm still feel like I'm a rookie right now trying to figure out everything here in the BCFC, but I think we match up well against that team, and to hold them under 50 yards rushing and making them have to win by throwing the ball as much as they have to, especially in the conditions we had. I thought that bode well for us, and our defense is playing quite well. And I think offensively on the side of the ball there, we've kind of, after that we lost to the Sun at home, we've made some changes and sort of changed away our philosophy. And I think we're using our talent a lot better. And we're not just relying on Duncan Little to have to go out and win football games for us. So allowed us to control the clock, I think, a little bit better and time of possession that way. And give us an opportunity to make plays when they're there. And that's the part of it. We're starting to understand that it's up to us to make plays and not to look up and down the bench and hope someone else does. So, we're starting to learn those lessons right now.
I haven't reviewed everyone's final 4-week schedule too in depth, but based on a first glance, certainly a favorable one for your group. You've got Kamloops twice, a team that has yet to win this season. You're going to be at home for a couple of those games as well. A matchup against the Rebels, I think, where you have to feel like you're in a good spot with some momentum coming in this weekend. And then a Raiders team that had to do something really special to beat you guys earlier this season. So when you look at those final 4 weeks, is there a feeling that if we execute, we can be in a real nice spot when it comes out of the wash at the end of week 10?
Yeah, I believe that. But, I just believe right now that we have an opportunity to still control our own destiny. And that's all you want as a football team, is to have a chance. And if you play well and you win, you get a chance to get in. And we're not counting on anybody else. We just have to count on ourselves. So, we've gained a little bit of momentum now. And I think we've gained some true confidence, not cockiness. And we're learning how to battle. Like, even that last game with the Huskers there was a part in the third quarter and beginning of the fourth that, it was tough. They were taking over momentum. And, earlier in the year, those were times where, you could see on our bench that we were ready to concede. And, I think now that with our confidence, with winning in the Sun and having to come back and win, and then, have to regain and put some drives together and play tough defense down the end. And instead of finding ways to quit, we're starting to find ways to win. So as long as we stay that process and continue to do that, I truly believe that, we're going to be a team that's going to be there at the end and fighting in the playoffs.
What did you think when you saw the result from the Apple Bowl this weekend? I mean, a lot of eyes. I've had about 10 different people text me and ask me. I even talked to the mayor of Nanaimo today, and he's going, what the hell happened up there in Kelowna? The Raiders go in as a first-place team, struggling Okanagan Sun, and the Sun come out with a sizable win. They put up 35 points on the Raiders' defense. What did you think when you saw that?
Well, yeah, it's like I say, it's once you start thinking you understand what's going on in this league, it turns around and slaps you in the face, and you don't, right? So, From that standpoint, I believe, that Sun team is still a really good football team. And if you don't think that they're going to be there at the end of the year, then I think you're mistaken. And I think it was tough going for the Raiders too. I mean, you plan to drive up and play a game at 7:00 at night, and you're prepared that way, and then all of a sudden you're not, and you got to stay overnight, and you're not prepared to do that and get up in the morning and play earlier. And so I think that was kind of tough on the Raiders as well. So, both those teams battled, and I think, special teams obviously played a big part in that game as well. And I think the rematch of those two teams in the NYMO is going to be a great game. But I'm not surprised that the Sun win, and I wouldn't have been surprised if the Raiders won. So, right now the great thing is you got to play the game and then find out who wins instead of predicting beforehand. So we'll see how it goes down the mix. I'm just glad those guys got to battle out one more time.
Finally, Coach, when you faced the Rebels in, week 1, it was the Charlie Carter-Lickier Rebels. You're now playing the Shane Beatty Rebels in West Hill Stadium. How does that change? I know it's obviously about you and about your team and how you guys come out, but how does that change what you will see from your opponent, do you think?
Well, I think they're a completely different team, 100%. With Coach Charlie, he was not only the head coach, he was also the offensive coordinator. So they have a new offensive coordinator, and I think that's Coach Shane Beatty. And then Coach John, I think, is running the defense. So, and he was doing the specials. So I think that, bodes that they're going to be a completely different team that we have to face. And we see that on film. And then they've got 2 different quarterbacks now. So they have 2 different quarterbacks that are playing, and that's a different scenario than what we saw in game 1. But in the same aspect, we feel we're a lot different team than in game 1 as well. So, they're going to do what they do and what Coach Shane likes to do. And we got to be ready for that pressure, and we got to be ready defensively for them to, bring it to us. And we got to keep Duncan on his feet and mix in the run and keep him a little bit off balance and make plays when we have the opportunity. And once again, as dumb as it sounds, we have to stick to our process. And if we change that, then we're going to put our players in position not to make plays instead of a position to make plays. But it's going to be a good game, and we're excited to get over, and we're excited to play them again. And, they kind of took it to us and took a win in game 1. So, we've got to pay them back.
Coach, appreciate your time as always. Best of luck. Enjoy the week.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dahmer.